The Senate will soon begin considering immigration reform legislation on the Senate floor. Right now, the Senate Judiciary Committee is marking up that bill, which is making the amendments, so that it can come to the floor in the future after having been examined by the experts. I'm sure many of you have thoughts on what should be in the immigration bill. I'll keep updating you on what's going on. Let's take a look at some issues that have been brought to me since the last video. One of those, of course, is immigration. Tom France from Sundance called my office to say that he opposes amnesty and is worried that immigrants will receive benefits under the Affordable Care Act and thus increase the costs of the health care law. Gary in Cheyenne sent me an email asking that I reject amnesty in any form. Mary from Chugwater called my office and said the government picks and chooses what rules and laws to follow. We do not have a labor shortage. She doesn't want illegal aliens to get welfare. Well, I will read the bill as soon as we have the bill finished in committee so that we can see what amendments were done there, and I think there will be some changes that are done there. I've been pleased at the effort there's been by both sides to get their concerns on the table right now. And that's how legislation is done. It goes to committee, experts get to take a look at it, see what kind of flaws there are in it, apply their own background to it, and then send a bill to the floor for the rest of us to consider. And there are some terms that are used on immigration that kind of confuse what it is. Nobody really has a definition of amnesty. And they promised me that amnesty isn't in the bill, but there is a path to citizenship. It takes about 20 years for somebody that's already here, and they have to pay back, they have to pay fines, they have to pay any back taxes that they haven't paid. They're not allowed to take advantage of any of the benefits in the meantime. There is a tremendous interest in the immigration law, partly because there is a shortage of some kinds of workers in the United States, and one of those for Wyoming is sheep herders. And we traditionally get those from some other countries. They're called guest workers, and there are other kinds of guest workers. Some of them are highly skilled. Some of them have engineering degrees and can work in some of the companies here, and we try to encourage them to use their expertise in the United States, so the patents will be in the United States, so the manufacturing will be in the United States, so the profits will be in the United States. Now, the immigration bill got defeated the last time that we took it up, and it wasn't over amnesty. It was over the guest worker program. And the person that led the charge that killed the bill was actually somebody named Senator Barack Obama. So things change over a period of time. One of the important things in this bill to me is that there be a true e-verify. The last time we tried to do something on immigration, the way that we did it was to say that businesses had to fill out an I-9 form to show that everybody was a legal resident. And there wasn't any real way to prove whether they were a legal resident, and most of the audits that were done on that was to see if all of the blanks were filled in and all the punctuation was done properly, and if it wasn't, people got fired or got fined, and that cost businesses a lot of money, and it really didn't take care of the illegal immigrant problem. So we got a lot of things to work on that, and I will keep you posted. Now, Vicki from Gillette posted on Facebook that it's so difficult to continue to be a part of the process when there's no room for either party to compromise so that those in the minority have a voice. She described herself as a blue dot in the middle of this red state, and that she believes there will never be a congressional representative that will embrace her ideals or views, but it would at least help if she had some influence, and she's frustrated. Brian, who also lives in Gillette, asks why I waste my time in counties that vote Democrat in relation to a staff office hours notice posted on Facebook. Well, first of all, there's probably only one person who agrees with 100% of my votes, and the name of that person isn't even my wife Diana, it's me. I was raised with a motto of do what's right, do your best, and treat others as you want to be treated. Only I've changed that here so that it's treat others as they want to be treated. It's a little bit more personal that way. And that's what every piece of legislation that I work on is measured by, whether it's right. This isn't a popularity contest back here. It's getting it right. And sometimes when you get it right, it isn't very popular. I never ask a person what party they're in if they have a problem. I'm supposed to help solve the problems of everybody in Wyoming to the extent that I can. And I do. As far as being frustrated by some of the ideas, that happens all the time. I do know that when somebody gives me a suggestion that there's at least the germ of an idea that could be grown, modified, and turned into something that could actually be legislation. And I love to legislate. I don't like to deal make. I don't think we ought to deal make. I think we ought to go through the regular process to get things done, which is sending things to committee, getting all of those opinions together, making amendments, then sending it to the floor, getting the opinions there. And then, of course, it goes to the other end of the building, and the process should be repeated over there. And that's how even the minority views, I'm in the minority back here, how the minority views can be incorporated. You sell people from the other side on what you're doing, and I found that there's a lot of common ground out there. Now, I don't compromise, and I get criticized for that, but my definition of compromise is that I give up half of what I believe in, and you give up half of what you believe in, and we wind up with something that neither of us believes in. But common ground is common, and we can find that ground if we're willing to work together, and that's what I do in Washington. So as many as 5,000 Wyoming folks contact me each week, and thanks for watching and keeping me informed. Follow me on Twitter and on Facebook, and if you'd like a more one-on-one response to your comments, email me through my webpage. I am anxious to hear from you.